It's the biggest build-up week that we have had in many a year. Of course, it's the first test between the Lions and the Wallabies on Saturday in Brisbane. Boys, what are we thinking?
Oh, I just want to know. I want to know the team. It'll be out soon. We'll be able to hear it, but we're going to come up with all sorts of stupid things in a minute, Max.
Right, at least we got those predictions real right.
Really close, yeah. The
close.
Aussie and New Zealand team, we said it would be a close match. I said that the Lions might even lose. Max said by 2 they would win, and there we are. What was it? They nailed them 48-0, was it?
Yeah, it got violent, didn't it? Yeah.
So it shows, and I mean, I love it when those are turned into a social media clip, and then all the comments are, "This aged well." Oh, you got to put your neck out sometimes. So
yeah, you really do.
You
really do. It's all about hindsight, and there's something no human has, unfortunately. So if only we had crystal balls, but sadly we don't.
But it's a big week, Maxi boy. It is the test is incoming. We'll find out the team soon, so we'll be throwing all our best guesses in the ring in a minute. But it's big. It's a big old week, and it's just whether they can do it or not. I think that game has lured them into a bit of a false sense of security.
You reckon the dirt trackers have given Faz some headaches? I reckon they have, mate. I reckon he's thinking about a different team now, potentially.
I don't know. Like, because one of the things I saw in the run sheet straight off the bat, like Duhan van der Merwe, yeah, okay, he went and scored a hat-trick of tries, but it was just too easy. I was pretty gutted. I was a little bit upset by the way that they didn't really give it a good enough going, did they? The AUNZ team. I was like, come on, boys, give it a bit more. So I don't know. Does that have a bearing on the decision making? It must have something, but if there's anything to go by, I mean, everyone's getting invited up now, aren't they? The amount of boys that have been called in. What were they called last time? The Geography 7 or
Geography
something?
6, yeah, I think it was.
Who did play themselves in?
I reckon that centre partnership have put their hands up. I think Pollock's definitely in now, in some form. He was in amongst it. It's just like he's got a skill set that no other back row is really displaying. There's like a weird sort of ability he has to be in the right place in the right time, and he can exploit it with a very cerebral set of skills that are pretty alien to the rest of the back row. So I think he'll be in and amongst it. It'd be difficult not to, because he's just so different to the rest of them.
Max, on Pollock, right, there will be a lot of players, and you always guilty of it sometimes. You enter big games, you're like, I'm just going to do the basics well. Like, I'm not going to try and chance anything. I'm just going to get through it and not fuck up, basically. The one thing I love about him, he's like, well, basics are, that's done. Like, chip and chases and trying things and just forcing things. That's what you want to see. And even the shithousery at that level, like, you've just got to love it. And he's back to giving it. He's back to giving out the no pulse, because that's his trademark. He knows what he's doing, boys. It's clever. I like it. And I bet what is starting to piss me off is they're like, oh, we need more. We need more people like this in the game. No, there's fucking plenty of people like that in the game. It's just we can't get them out there. There's no way to get them out there enough. The reason that Pollock's been so out there is because they've seen it, and every single time the cameras are, it's just on him. It's just on him. It's just on him. There's plenty of players like it, Max.
Yeah, no, but he does it at the highest level. He does it at any competition he's in. He's doing it. That's what kind of makes him quite special, seeing as how young he is. But yeah,
I love him.
Boys, I'm just going to pause for 2 seconds, because we've got to just thank, I've totally forgotten to do it at the top. We've got to thank our sponsors for the show. Huge thank you to NordVPN, the best VPN there is out there. Get in there. Go to nordvpn.com/Maul. Put our code in, put Maul in, and you get yourself 4 extra months on a 2-year plan, which is handing you free stuff. And Ryan, you're flying out to Australia, so are you loaded up with your VPNs all over the place?
I've got it on the iPad. I've got it on the MacBook. I've got it on the phone. It's everywhere. I didn't realise how much I'd actually use it. But yeah, I will be using it in Ozmark. Don't you worry about that. We will be joining forces, myself and you. But it also, There's like this thing in there which stops, the threats. There's a lot of threats coming through on my phone. I like to go in there and find out how many people have tried to like hack me and get into my phone.
I've added you on my vault. I've added you on my vault to check that your email and yours, Max, you can add in people's emails and see if it's been like data's been leaked from it. So I just added you guys. I think you accepted it a while back. I'm not sure Max ever did. So anyway,
if he doesn't check his texts, he's not going to check his emails. But yeah, NordVPN. This isn't even just me trying to sell it. I'm actually using it. So it's got to be worth it.
Check it out, guys. Help the show. Go there, put in the code MAUL, MAUL, and you will get yourself lots of free stuff, and we'll get lots of credit for doing that. Anyway, let's go back to the Henry Pollock situation we were talking about. I think, Ryan, you're right. There are loads of people like that in rugby. Not loads. He's individual, there's no doubt. But there are more than just the one. It's just this is the time. This is the time to have that individuality coming out. Don't we think, Max?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's setting up something good for the next generation of players. And I think with the level of rugby and sort of the streamlining of professionalism with like sort of the under 20 level, and we're seeing more and more guys who are pretty much ready to play men's rugby as they come out of the sort of under 20 championships. These guys who are sort of bookmarked to be England internationals, etc., or internationals in other nations. I think they're going to look at that and think, yeah, that's a way I can get more brand out. And I think more brand equals more opportunity. Sadly, we are political animals as humans, aren't we? Aren't we, Ryan?
Do you know what? It's almost a win-win with the old celebration, because straight away you think, oh, that could come back and bite you on the arse, like it did with Bordeaux, who were giving it after. It wasn't even involved. Like, do you know what I mean? They're going around giving it that. Even if the Lions were to lose, you know what the celebrations from the Aussie boys are going to be. It's going to be that straight after the game. So I can't see it happening, though. I guess we'll get on to the first test and talk out the win.
Hang on, though, because it's worth just mentioning that he might do the celebrations. He's also showing absolute flair on the pitch, doing everything. But he is saying the things that the Wallabies will probably pin up in the changing room as well. You know, he's saying, "Look, we want to win 3-0, and we want to be the best ever Lions." And he's making a bold 3-0 claim. That's for sure.
He's got to. You've got to go out there and be a bit ruthless. Like, I think that'll be like, again, how much do the coaches read into it? You can't go out there and do it and go, we hope we're going to win. There's a whole thing around it. One thing that I was pretty interested in is there's players out there going, best coach I've ever had, Andy Farrell, best coach I've ever had. Because I think, did you read that thing with Ben Earl the other day, Max? Ben Earl.
What did he say?
Ben Earl came out and said, Henry's 10 times the player I am. He's unbelievable. He went on to say how good a player he was. It was like, I'll never get to that level. He also said, Andy Farrell's the best coach I've ever had. Do you reckon old Steve Borthwick's back in England camp going, fucking what? Raging. Like, I should be the best coach you've ever had. Is that brown nosing?
Is that like little thing?
Is that brown? Yeah, but is that brown nosing? Is he going, maybe he'll pick me if I say he's the best coach I've ever had? Is he the best coach they've ever had?
So yeah, interesting comments there from Ben Earl. But he's going to be also himself in a fight, of course, with Henry Pollock to be in that starting 15 or in the 23 as a whole. There are a lot of selection headaches for Andy Farrell. Let's start with that one, because the back row, we've had a lot of different comments coming in on our across our social media and on our YouTube channel as well. Boys, I guess, what is your back row?
We basically said it the other day, didn't we? I think it stays the same for me. And you're seeing now, like, we're getting close to the game. Every man and his dog is giving their predictions on who's going to start this test. And you look at them, they're all pretty similar. Everyone's going with Conan. There's no looking past him at the moment for some reason. Conan, Jack Morgan, I think, is at 7. It's like they've written Van der Fleer off, but Jack Morgan, Conan, and for me, I think Chesham.
Yeah, the only one I have question marks around potentially is Chesham, but I could see that being probably a selection just given his sort of utility in the lineup, and he's just a big body. But otherwise, Tom Curry, I think.
I wonder how much of I wonder how much, because I think we're solely looking at how people are playing, right? So a lot of it will be down to what are the Wallabies going to bring? Like, what are the Wallabies going to bring? They're going to bring power. They want to. I reckon Lions just want to get through this one, set piece dominance, try and play like a really not a flashy game of rugby, just a boring, almost English. You know, like England. Remember England like last year when it was just horrific and boring. Just that. I think they just want to get the win under their belt. And so I think they'll just go pretty safe. That's why I know we just saw, for example, Warburton had Ben Earl in his team, but I don't think that's a safe bet for some reason. I think a safe bet is you go with a line-out focused McCarthy, Itoje, Chesham at 6. You know it's going to win. You've got a fetcher in Jack Morgan and you've got a ball carrier in Conan. You know, there's no real risk of playing 2 7s. It's just, set in stone. You know what you're going out. There's going to be no real questions asked from him.
If they were like, no, we'll back some fast option tempos in the line out. We'll just back McCarthy and Marrow and maybe Jack Conan on a few options, and they just minimise the line out menu, and then they just go after like, no, we're going to have some absolute barbarians in the back row. Then we've got Curry as an extra option, and he's a brilliant ball carrier as well. So then you've got Curry and Morgan. But yeah, I can see them easily going the other way and going like Chesham or Burn. But
then on just on another note, then just as I say that, I'm just thinking, you know, is he just trying to keep people happy? He's not trying to keep people happy because he got Owen Farrell and he stuck him straight in the team. And fair play to Owen Farrell, he slotted in, did what he was told to do there. Came in 15 minutes, played really well, but Farrell's not there to please anyone, is he? He's there to do a job, and clearly he's made that obvious in some of his selections. Again, even when Osborne was selected, I'm going, what? Hold on a minute, going absolutely mad. He must have known further down the line, maybe, you know, coming into this game, we're going to bring a few more players in and the Scottish boys get called in. But he clearly isn't there to keep everyone else happy, is he? He's doing what he thinks is best.
But perhaps with that on his side, the conundrum has been eased somewhat for the centre debate, which has been the big one, because it's been very much Ireland versus Scotland. And we've had comments going nuts throughout, mostly slagging off Ryan.
Thank you for your comments. That's what we should say, because even if you are slagging us off, or me off, sorry.
It's never Max. They never slag Max off.
Of course they don't. It's only when he's getting told that he's been on steroids because he's got sunburn or something. Fucking lunatics. You're all nuts. But even when you are sagging me off, thank you, because you're helping the algorithm. So please, wade in there. Get in there. Max, there's some absolute nutters in here. I'll tell you, here's one of them. I'll try and find one that I saw early on. Someone said that the connection between Finn Russell and the centres isn't what they're going to be worried about. Jamison Gibson Park is definitely starting, so they're going to go with Aki and Ringrose because of their connection. But you're like, well, nah, I don't agree with that. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Ringrose out though. Ringrose is under concussion.
Ringrose is out, so
he's out. Does that change everything? Does that mean Bundy goes on the bench, comes on as like a like-for-like replacement for Sione, and then they're like, well, we may as well start Hugh with Finn and Sione, and then we've got that sort of Scotland spine that's been so successful for them. In fact, it's probably been the most positive point of Scottish rugby for them.
And we said, they may have been the dirt tracker team, but just because those boys were in there, they needed to give them another run out. It worked. It clearly worked. They were unreal. Do you know another thing? When I watched
Bundy and he would work though.
They would, but not as good as Sione and Hugh.
Yeah, but he knows Bundy. That's the point. It's all good saying what we, as in that works for them, but ultimately Farrell's probably investing in the individuals, right? Isn't he saying he knows exactly what Bundy will bring?
But 10, 12, 13, like you've just said, the spine of the team. Why go and upset that rhythm by putting Bundy back in? Yeah, he's going to come on at some point in the game, but there's no point. There's absolutely no point. Another one, Ben White. He's been bloody good since he's come in. He's not going to start. I don't see that. I often you get asked questions. You know, players that have been brought in, should they start? You know, they weren't in there at the beginning. You'd think they would. There's almost a hierarchy. It's like, well, he was picked on merit right at the beginning. Can someone jump past someone? Does that happen
Alex
often?
Bob famously came in to the tour and was one of the stars of that test series. So yeah, it's interesting. It's like, as you said with that last game, though, can we read much into that? I don't know. Was it as sort of brilliant as that scoreline suggests, or were we there up against a team that was sort of fresh off the beers of just getting together and as an invitational team and just getting amongst it with the Lions? It's difficult, isn't it? I think.
Sorry, just another thing I was thinking when I was watching that game. The pressure on those boys to play well for each other. You could see with, like, I felt like, and I've said it from the beginning, you either play, and if Ringrose was fit, this still would stand. You either play Ringrose and Aki or Hugh and Sione, right? So when they play together and one of them does something good, yes, they're mates and they're very close and they go through everything together. But also, there's something there under the post going, we're doing this for each other, brother. You know? Yeah.
Alley-oops all round. Alley-oops all round.
And I know for a fact they'll be on the laptops after going, oh, cheers, bro. That's got us closer to the team. You know, we come as a pair. We come as a duo.
Thunder and lightning.
Okay, boys. Well, then let's sort of cat amongst the pigeons and think that. Let's assume that Andy Farrell has seen all of these games apart from the Argentina game and gone, they are not indicative of anything. Because let's be honest, the opposition was not the best. It wasn't like a classic tour where you've got, you know, the Crusaders trying to beat the Lions, or, you know, the South African sides were straight in the last tour when the Aussies really took it to them, particularly in 2001, the Aussie club teams. So do you think that he is, in his mind, he's talked up Tom Curry, for instance, all the work he does that you don't see? He's in the press conferences. That was a huge spit. It's the work that you don't see. So in a way, is that telling you, look, it's not necessarily about what they are doing, but more about, I've kind of got in my mind, really, who is going to be doing what apart from injury?
I think he's looking roughly at form, but yeah, I'm going to go right back on what I started this podcast with. I reckon he's going roughly on form and had sort of a blueprint when he selected the team for his test match, all things considered, without injuries, etc. I think you'd have to have the sort of... Yeah, you're right, Mark. You're right. This man's a mastermind. Yeah, you'd have to have some real sort of outlying performances to either play yourself in or out of such a test match.
I'm just having a look. Like, I'm just having a look through it, like, here, and like some of the people are saying on tour form, they're giving their team. So keep doing this. We want to hear what you think. I mean, Moshi Chen, 358'2", on tour form. They've gone Kinghorn, if he's fit. I don't think he will be. But Kinghorn, Hansen and Lowe on the wings. I think Lowe might have almost played himself out. Jones, Tuapolotu in the middle, which we like. Mitchell and Russell. Mitchell, we think's done enough. But like, that's exactly what he's saying there.
Everyone else is saying GP, yeah.
And then they've gone Earl, Morgan, Conan, Chesham, McCarthy, Beelum, Sheehan, and Genge. So I'm just having a little flick through the comments here.
I would love it if Finley does get the start at tight end, but I'd imagine it's tight. But Finley has been the most in-form player on the tour, so to speak, in terms of tight heads playing.
But Max, didn't I say this last week to you? How important is that off-field connection?
Yeah, you can't put a price on sort of that.
And Genge and Beelum seem to be pretty close. Seem to, like, all the little clips you see, that I think they're rooming together. That for me, like, when you talk about scrums and the way that front rowers go, I think that's a little insight there. I reckon they start. I reckon it's Genge and Beelum. Genge, Beelum, Shin.
So wait, so you're saying it is form then? So you're saying that he will?
No. I'm saying on the basis that the off-field connection that they've got at the moment. And then Max is saying there is form in Beelum.
There is form in Beelum, but I think he takes. He's always. I think if Tig's fit, Tig goes. He's got that gravitas.
We're just contradicting ourselves, like, man.
No, I'm not. I was just saying he's in good form according to that comment, which I appreciate. You're absolutely right. By form, that would be the test. But we all know I think we know that's not going to be 100% the Test match lineup. I don't think that's going to happen.
But maybe that's one of Andy Farrell's greatest qualities, right? We all know how Woodward...
He picked on form. Oh my God.
No.
We've gone full circle.
He thinks, he makes you think he picks on form. That's got to be the greatest thing, right, of a Lions coach, is giving everybody the impression that they can get into the squad, even if at the end of the day, he's already decided what he's going to do.
Oh, man, I'm so confused. And also, do you know who else is... I'll tell you who else is confused. Malachi Mulhall. You're confused because he said, the centres, how many times have the Scottish pair beaten the Irish pair in the last 5 years? Got nothing to do with it, Malachi. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, I feel... What was our response was brilliant, though, dare I say it, is that what if it's effectively comparing... What if you could... we were saying Joshua Tuisova and Semi Radradra as a pair, are they, because they haven't beaten all the best teams and they haven't won everything, does that automatically make them way worse than Bondiaki and Gary Ringrose?
Yes, precisely. Then there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Very difficult to compare like that.
But I don't think there's anybody arguing with how much of an absolute unit the Aki Ringrose double would be in terms of just raw smackdown defense that we've talked about, particularly with Gary Ringrose as well, which unfortunately has put him out of the first test. Let's move on from the centres. We've done the back row, we've done the centres. I feel we're all in unison for the second rows, and also for the front row. From the sounds of things, I think what's left is the back three, and there are a lot of question marks there, and dare I say it, potentially a lucky number 15. I know that's really harsh to say, but based on currently what's going on, there aren't many more options than Hugo Keenan at fullback.
He's been one of the best sort of informed 15s in the world for a while. So, man, if anything, the guy deserves it. But yeah, it's unfortunate that Smith is looking like he's injured, especially off the back of the last sort of 2 seasons he's had with Toulouse and Scotland. But yeah, it's looking like Hugo Keenan. I reckon with the rest of the wingers, you're looking at, I think it's James Lowe and Tommy Freeman. That's what I'm saying. But Mac, you reckon Mac Hanson's in?
I think James Lowe's almost played himself out a tiny bit.
Do you reckon?
I think
he's allowed one bad game.
Yeah, but hold on, because I think Mac Hanson's almost done enough to play himself in. A man that right at the beginning, I was questioning, should he even be there? I just think I've started to see what Farrell maybe saw in him, and he's a good tourist. It's probably safer to keep him in the team, otherwise he'll just go missing on the piss. So, like when you go dirt tracker this week, Mac, he disappears. He goes on a 7-day bender. You're not getting him back. So maybe that's a good way to get yourself into the team by saying,
I think he'd be he'd be in the squad though. He'll be on the bench, surely.
Well, this is one of our comments from Killian Lyons. Thank you very much for this. I think Hansen is on the bubble for the bench as a utility back. At a pinch, he could cover fullback more so than Marcus Smith. And I love this comment from him, just on his work rate and the credit he has with Farrell and the tattoo.
I mean, how much does the tattoo weigh into things? I'm with him.
More you think about the tattoo, you're just like, fair. That blood is just
got to get him in, mate.
That's mental, isn't it?
So definitely no Duhan for you then, Max.
I think, given that I think the context of those tries you were talking about, you expect that man to finish those, and everyone knows ball in hand. He is a formidable finisher. He is horrible. He can cut lines like Tony Montana's credit card. But I think there's just question of marks around sort of like his defense right now and his positional play in the sort of in terms of kicking. And with the new rules of kicking as well, I wouldn't be surprised if Australia throw up some big ones at the box kick. It's a serious weapon now. I think all the teams that are being really successful at the moment are taking advantage of that rule set, and they've got to pick sort of skill sets to suit that now on the edge for sure.
So
Dan Nines could box kick effectively, and weaponize that part of the game,
And of course, Keenan himself, though, very good on the high ball, and as is Lowe, Tommy Freeman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
So those are the safe options. I suppose the question is around now the composition. Who have you got on the bench? Because I think last week when we were discussing things, we put every single open side on there and had a sort of 8-2 split or something. So give me quickly your Max is. Oh yeah, you've got to head up for your dinner. Quick bench for you, Max.
I'm going to go Kelleher. I'm going to go Andrew Porter. I'm going to go either Finley or Ty. Probably it's going to be Finley Beelum. And then I'm going to go with Ty Byrne. Then behind that guy, we're going to have Benar cover the whole back row. Then we've got Alex Mitchell. How many am I on? 6. How many more? I've got 2 more, haven't I? I'll go with Hansen and Finn Smith.
Ooh.
Max, match prediction for this weekend. Do the Lions win?
Yeah, I think the Lions win. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how the Australians turn up. I'm looking forward to that back row of sort of Valentini, Fraser McWright, Wilson. I think that's a big win for them. Angus Bell as well, ball in hand. He's going to be an issue. Nick Frost, Will Skelton, the Maul shredder. Man, it's going to be good though. But everything changes when that sort of final whistle goes, doesn't it? So when that starting whistle goes on the kickoff, the anthem's done. But I think Lions win. I think Lions win by 2 scores.
Do you support Australia at all, Max? When in those situations,
I have weird things, but it's very much a sort of nostalgia from when I was very young, just because of my father. But
and there you have it. Max wants Wallabies to win.
No, I don't. I just have these
Wallabies to win.
There's like a subliminal sort of coaxing of the green and gold, but no, I want to see the very best for my mind.
Before you go, you're still in South Africa, aren't you?
I'm in Camps Bay, old boy, and it's quite wonderful. Cape Town's great. Been up the vistas, been shopping all day.
Tell me you're going to the Codfather.
The Codfather? No, what's the Codfather? Is that a fish and chips place?
It's a fish restaurant. Yeah.
No, I've been somewhere on the port. I forgot what it's called. Hankies or something. It was really, really good, mate. It was unbelievable.
Oh, you've been down to the river, like the waterfront.
Right down the waterfront. It was mental.
So
the whole shebang. Yeah. Penguins, little African penguins. They walk around like little neotenous toddlers. They're very adorable, and they got those like hyraxes that sort of run amongst the dunes. You know, these little kind of marmot-looking things, completely like fear-free. They're just so used to humans, so they'll just come right up to you, just munching on grass. Apparently, they look like rodents, but their closest relative is the elephant, which makes no sense.
Are you ever coming back?
I don't really want to, sadly, because like I just saw a 500-gram T-bone again for like £8, and I was like, "What's the point of it all?"
I just stopped at T-Bay Services. I've just driven down from Scotland back to London because obviously flying out of here to go to Australia, and I bought the most pathetic amount of biltong, £18. So what I did, I said I'm going to go empty some of it, and I went out, ate as much as I could, got it back down to £8. So I ate £10 of it before I paid for it.
That is unbelievable. You're joking. You did not do that.
Of course I did. I just shoved loads of it in my mouth and then just went back, rolled it up, and was like, "There you are, mate." And he was like,
"That's good. I respect that." You degenerate.
Do you know what? The bloke respected it because he was South African, and when he gave it to me and he said, "That's £18," I went, "Oh no, I think you've got that wrong." Gave it back to him, and he was like, "No, my bro," and I was like, "You are fucking joking me." So, mate, don't come home. Don't ever come back. It's just
no. There's so many boons to this part of the world. I have to agree. It's quite lovely.
Boys, I'm nervous. I leave on Saturday. I'm slightly nervous. Do you know what I'm more nervous about? The flight. I know you've got to go, Max, but the flight. When I meet up with Andy Powell to get on a plane that goes to Australia, there's only one thing happening. So wish me luck. But Max, listen, if you've got to go,
ta-ta.
We'll see.
Boys, enjoy.
Love.
Good day, folks. Here at Maul or Nothing, we'd like to thank the people that have sponsored us from day one. Yes, the wonderful people at Wolf Craig Distillery. They've sponsored us through our inane ramblings, good times, epic pilgrimages of the piss, celebrating this great game, the game of egg chasing. Go to wolfcraig.com. That was weird. And pick yourself up a little something with the link. Ta-ta for now. See you next time. Fair dinkum.
Mark, let's quickly cover off whilst he's gone. Talk about Scotland, Fiji, because
Yeah. What was that? Hey, talk to me. Where were you at? Because
I was torn. I'll be honest. And you saw Frank. He was not torn. He was fully Fijian.
yeah,
Even
when
though
he's not picking his bum, by the way, and sniffing.
Yeah, when
Brilliant.
he's not itching his ass.
Yeah.
But I told you, I said it was going to happen last week. It's not an easy feat. They've obviously missed a few players as well. But then you still look at that team and go, there's some pretty good quality in there. But Fiji are a different class. And all the stuff, I saw some stuff actually earlier when people are saying, why are the All Blacks not going there? Why are Australia not going there? What is it for Scotland? Scotland have put their neck out on the line there. That has now affected their qualifications for the top seeds in the World Cup. And I knew that they were stressing about that match. Like there was always going to be a big ask to go down there and win. It's not easy. I know that they loved it. The boys have absolutely loved touring Fiji. I would have done anything to be over there for it. But you've got to give credit to Fiji. They are something special. And we've, when we sat down with Mick Byrne and talked about the Enduro and what that's going to do for Fiji and rugby, I think if they'd had a little bit more time before Australia, they nearly beat Australia. I think if they had had a little bit more time before Australia, they beat Australia, they beat Scotland. Scotland go to play Samoa this week. And again, it's not going to be easy, but, they're struggling Samoa and rugby with money, etc. at the moment. So they're in a bit of a bad place. But I can, listen, it was tough for me, but Tosoviti. Congratulations. One another, Davingles, or one another. So
there was a lovely comment with that question in mind from Sue Incredible. Willis Sony, my man, I'm just here to ask you a question. Who are you going to betray this weekend? Is it Fiji or Scotland? And he said, I'll be watching the game with you in mind if they air it here in South Africa. And our response was, I think it's like choosing between your mum and your dad. High scoring draw would be his real choice. But ultimately, I think you are.
Do you know what? Genuinely, and as I said it, when I went over there, 3 or 4 years ago and we lost, it was the only game I played with Scotland. I wasn't really that bothered that I'd lost. So I actually wasn't bothered at all. I was happy for Fiji. Hey, Bula Festival this weekend down in Aldershot again. Didn't realise, but boy, I fly on Saturday. I might nip down there. 5,000 Fijians descend on Aldershot for a Bula Festival. So get yourself down there if you're in and near it.
Let's quickly round up the other games as well. Wales finally breaking the curse. 18-game losing streak. It's over. And, did it without any of their Lions.
Okay.
Contextually, in a historical sense, quite a low bar now that you take that as a confidence-boosting win to end the streak against what is historically before not being the strongest of nations. So, but again, I don't want to, that's not, no disrespect to Japan, who obviously, well, as you know full well, Ryan, I don't need to re-mention that, but, knocking you guys out of a World Cup, so they know what they're doing. England completing the job, doing a good job. You're the wrong person. I wish Max was still here, but yeah, I doubt you even watched it, but it was a good.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, jump in the comments, guys, and slag off Ryan's one. I mean, you've done it. They
why?
do.
I don't know why. What, like it?
Because we're supposed to be giving our wonderful listeners and viewers a sort of impassioned take on all of the rugby world over the last week.
Where have I been all week?
Fuck's sake, you've been just golf wankering so hard that you must be absolutely drained in every single way from having a week of being at the Scottish Open. And
I've been working. I have been working, and I have been, it's been great fun. It was, do you know what? It was awesome. And you got the best weather ever. And I tell you what, hospitality there is something else. But yeah, I needed a break from it.
Which you're now not going to get on your flight. So wait, tell everybody exactly your movements now, because you're heading out to Australia, right? But you're not. You are going on Saturday. I will be at the test, okay, and I'll be doing some of our show live from there. Let's see how that goes on my own. having a few beers. But you're going to be landing and then straight into preparing for your first rugby match in 2 years.
Yeah. And do you know what? As some people may have followed on Instagram, the training started to pick up a bit when I went down to France. I ran a 5K, 2 4Ks, and did 2 bike rides. I went and squatted the other day, and I'm in absolute agony. I was like, why have I done this? So I just gave up again, stopped. I just thought, well, it's too late now. Next Thursday, so in less than a week's time, just over a week's time, I'll be playing a game against the likes of Matt Giteau, Adamashi Cooper, Drew Mitchell, George Smith, Wycliffe Palu. It's just what an idiot. What a complete and utter idiot. So get down on Thursday. I don't even know who it is. It's in Melbourne somewhere on a Thursday night. It should be good fun.
Next Thursday. Don't go this Thursday.
No, don't go this Thursday. I'm getting a lot of texts because it's starting to hot up a bit. With some of the people in, I don't know. Oh, good. They're talking about insurance. I'm going to have to get as much of that as possible. But Mark, I'm a little bit worried. You should be. I mean, you're coming up against George Smith, and he's just great. Oh, didn't you say Stephen Larkham might be playing? Although that really, bearing in mind that our fly half's going to be Dan Bigger, right? Well, there's whispers of Stephen Larkham. Yeah, there are whispers. I'll be honest, I need to do a bit more research into it. I know I'm leaving on Saturday to go and play in it, but I've just been so busy. I've not really looked into it too much. So if you are about Thursday nights before the next few tests, Melbourne and Sydney, get down. It should be a very good laugh. We're going to try and you're going to come along. We're going to get Kurt to come along and film it. We're going to might even try and mic me up for it, which I think could be hilarious.
I think that'd be such a good idea.
Mic me up for it. But yeah.
It is AAMI Park, apparently. Is that right? Does that work? That's where it's going to be in Melbourne. Anyway, keep an eye out. Get the tickets. We'll have more information on that next week so that we are fully aware. I think we'd all love to hear and see you getting your head kicked in by some wallabies. That'd be just hilarious. Not badly, though.
Yeah, not too badly. Not too badly. AAMI Park, apparently. Yeah, you're right. And then the one afterwards is, that's just my piss up the night before. So I got asked to go and do an event the night before on a Wednesday, and I said, oh yeah. So they're like, it's a little bit of cash, but the main thing is it's free alcohol. And I was like, so when is it then? And they went, it's on the Wednesday night. I said, what, before the game we play on the Thursday? They're like, yeah. So it's free piss. And I was like, okay. I'm starting to get the gist of it. Like, oh no, we're gonna have a social. I'm like, okay.
So there is a social on Wednesday night.
I think that the fact that I reckon I'll get by with a hangover better than some of the others because I'm younger might stand me in good stead. Okay. I'm going for less of being impactful, more getting by, and that's by being able to cope with the piss better.
You want to be the queen. You want to be the king of the lash rather than on the field. No one's going to remember any of that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when I'm on the field and I'm hungover, I think I'll deal with it better than some of the others. Is what I'm hoping. Well,
we'll hold you to that. Final couple of things: Springboks steamrolling Italy, which we. It's assumptive because the Springboks are just unplayable at the moment. Did you see them manufacturing really? Okay, so explain what happened.
A lot of people will hate it. And I saw so many people saying, it's boring, they're ruining the game. But I just love the innovation. I love stuff like that. But almost like barbarians type stuff, where you
Wait, explain for those who didn't see it. The South Africans from the kickoff.
Little chip kick, called it on the full, which meant scrum, which is exactly what they want. I said this the other day when the Bulls played Leinster in the final. That Bulls scrum going into it, they should have just kicked that straight off the field, had a scrum, and set the tone. Obviously, things didn't go their way in that final of the URC, but even the little did you see the line out left during open play? You could set up a Maul open play
and then turn it into a more. But I mean. It's amazing because it's so innovative. And I think any of us, whether you're South African or not, have to just give doff your hat to what is an incredible new ways of looking at rugby.
It's fun. it just brings another dynamic to the game. You always want to try and evolve the game and see like different things you're doing. If it's just the same old shit, it gets a bit boring, doesn't it? So why not? Why not throw a few things in there? And there's a time to try it, and it is in these summer tests, sadly, against Italy, because
Quesada, obviously the Italy coach, was saying they can beat us without needing to do this kind of tactic. But you say that, Ryan, but it's not like the Springboks shy away a World Cup quarterfinal against arguably the favourites for the whole tournament, France, and taking a scrum in their own 22. Rather, that is.
I love it. I think it's great. You all know Rassi, what he's like and what he does. I think it's awesome, the stuff they're doing. And like, even have you seen when they played at home and they had fireworks for the bomb squad?
Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But genuinely.
He's obviously pre-thought that and gone, right, when we bring the bomb squad, we're going to put fireworks out there. Like, and that is, and I'm not sure it's definitely just him, but he's had to buy into that, because imagine he just put one sub on at a time. It would have ruined the whole thing. But no, full bomb squad, fireworks, everyone's cheering. You're like, that is awesome. That's giving front rowers their time to shine. They don't get it enough.
I'm just in awe. I love South Africans as a whole, but it's just South African rugby. They're taking it to the next level. He needs statues in every South African city. That's for sure. Also, finally, sadly, the All Blacks. Oh, well, the All Blacks are back. I don't know. You might not have seen the game, but they absolutely pumped France 43-17. I know it was very close in the first test. And this is a second/third string France side. And it's nothing to do with them. The All Blacks were phenomenal, mate.
Yeah, I think it was the All Blacks obviously heard us talk about it last week and say that they were mediocre and they scraped past the second string side. So they've obviously been listening. Old Geordie Barrett's been tuning in. So yeah, they showed him up that time. They blew him away and showed him exactly how it's done. So the All Blacks are back. But let's just wait and see. French rugby. By the way, I don't know whether there were any comments about the old Lions Tour de France, but that, for me...
I know, well into it. A lot of people were into that. Also, just about enough time, Ryan, we asked for people's animals. Can I give you... I asked ChatGPT what our animals were.
Oh, good. Did you put a picture of us in there or just put it in as...
No, well, I've already got... It's already tailored to knowing the kind of the mild moronic idiots that we are. So it knows what I'm talking about, because I've created a side sort of thing about the three of us. But Ryan, you are the wolf, pack mentality, mischief maker, and loyal enforcer. He'll bare teeth where needed, but he's got that dry humor and real life edge. Leads with instinct, thrives in the wild. Traits, tough, witty, loyal, unpredictable. Max, the chimpanzee. Full of kinetic energy, wildly expressive, endlessly curious. The chaos engine, swinging from Shakespearean tangents to deep scrum chat without missing a beat. Traits, intelligent, chaotic, good, expressive, magnetic. I mean, it is scary what it's saying. Although it clearly doesn't really. It's probably buttering me up so I don't shut it down. Call me the lion.
Oh,
calm, authority, polished presence, king of the content jungle. You lead the pride, always composed, thoughtful.
No. Stop. Yeah. You are the aardvark. You're the aardvark. Max has got, everyone's saying he's the bull, right? Max is a rhino, armored big, living example of beast mode. Ryan is the Alan Marmot, pops up out of nowhere, annoying yet lovable, and I'm the African grey parrot. Intelligent but not overly big in stature. That's according to Nick Blackmorant. So very nice.
There we go. So all very good. Ryan, good. We're not going to speak to you before your flight, so safe flight. And then I'll
see you down under, baby. I'll see you down under.
Oh yeah, it's happening. It is happening. Have you given us your prediction before we finish? Just to reiterate.
I think the Lions will do it. I do think the Lions will do it. I sort of want Australia to win, which sounds really weird, but just to keep it,
considering how many Scottish people are there.
But just to keep it really, really interesting and make sure that it's not a whitewash. I just want to make sure we're going into the last game, which we will both be at, it being a bit of a competition. I want 1-1 going into the final game. So that is why I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be out of order some of the guys. I just want to see a bit of a competition. And I hope the Aussies turn up this weekend. I really do.
Well, brilliant, mate. I will speak to you over the weekend. I will be there at the game, trying to bring some Maul or Nothing flavour to events in Brisbane and bringing that back to all of you. But as always, huge thank you to Ryan and to Max, and we will see you all next week.
Cheers.
Maul or Nothing.